Hey, my friends. Thanks for joining me, Andrew Axum with Axum Outdoor Adventures. I got a bunch of new slingers here with me that are here to tell their story about how they came to the community recently. They've already been telling it a little bit. That's my fault because once again, I forgot to hit record. But I have been learning about these people. They're very interesting. And we're going to start over up here at the top with Ron Perry. Ron, introduce yourself again. Plug all that stuff you just told us. Do it again for us, please.
Okay. I'm Ron Perry. I'm from Petersburg, Michigan, just south of Dundee, where Cabela's is at. Longtime woodworker, old school jack of all trades. I picked up a Slingshot from Cabela's a couple of years ago, one of these old Rat King doohickeys, and broke the bands on it. I now know because I was shooting too light of ammo. I laid it on a shelf for about 2 years until about December. I picked it back up with an interest and maybe getting good enough to go hunting with it. Small game hunt because we can't here in Michigan. And kept breaking bands and started doing my own research. And in the midst of doing research, learning how to make my own frame. This is my first frame I made. I learned about the tournament, Midwest Spring Sling, and so I starting about February is when I made this one. So I hadn't only been shooting a proper slingshot since then, and now in the tournament, and not only as a competitor but also a vendor. So
yeah, you sat beside me most of the time, I think, didn't you?
I'm sorry, what now? As
a vendor, we were sitting beside each other.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I thought we were right there next to each other. And we mentioned this. You mentioned this just a minute ago when I didn't hit record. But your woodworking, I thought it was neat that you made those flutes, and you said, "Go ahead and tell us about that again."
Yeah, I got into that. I first taught myself how to do that. I was actually in cabinet making school back in 2007, and about that time, and I had been away from native ceremony. I used to attend Sweat Lodge and had attended Sundance. And so I taught myself how to make the flutes as something to do with my spare time outside of class because I lived there on campus with my wife and my newborn son at the time. And so I made a few flutes and various other crafts, from eagle bone whistle to sash belts. So you can see I don't have it in the room with me here in my studio, but that took the last belt I ever wove. I built my own loom and everything and cut it down to use as a strap for my ammo bag.
That's what I love about this community is it attracts people that like to make things, artists and just crafty people. I think it's a breeding ground for that. All right. So I'm going to move down to Dallas. Dallas, don't think of that as me making a mistake. Thinking of that as me giving you a chance to rehearse.
Okay. My name's Dallas Martin. I'm from Ashland, Ohio. I first started getting into slingshots probably about few years ago, probably closer to 5 years ago now. And I started out with like a Daisy F-16 slingshot, just a simple two-banded slingshot. I was decently accurate with it, but it didn't have really any power to it. So I thought, oh, I'll upgrade. So I did some more research online. I found simple shots. So I started shooting that for a while, more or less off and on though. So I'd shoot it for a couple days, probably 3 days, stop for probably a couple months or a few weeks, and then pick it back up again. It's more or less just fun, something fun to have. Then it wasn't until about January I heard about the Midwest Spring Sling. I thought, oh, that sounds pretty fun. I'll go do that. And I knew I wasn't going to be that good at it, so I signed up for amateur. But turns out I won first in amateur.
Yeah, so you were better than you thought. You were better than a lot of us thought. That's really neat, impressive. You mentioned Simple Shot. Which frame did you get?
I got the Scout XT.
Good choice.
As my first slingshot frame.
That's the old school one.
Yes.
Very neat. All right. You had some social media you wanted to plug as well.
Yes. I have a Facebook account and an Instagram account. For the Facebook, I'm under Dallas Martin, and you'll see me standing there with a bow fishing recurve and a carp. And then for the Instagram account, I'm under Knife Nut 25, and you'll just see a knife stuck in a log in that one.
Did you say Knife Nut 25? You cut out just a little bit, I think.
Yes, it's Knife Nut, so it's KNIV KNUT25. That's my Instagram
Knives
account.
Night. Okay, nice.
Yes.
Very cool.
I
Go ahead.
I do like knives, and so I do have a lot of more higher end knives, but I also dabble in a little bit of knife making. I don't forge, I just do stock removal. But I don't really have a set up shop, so it's more or less I'll make one here and there, and that's about it.
Okay, very interesting. I'm a big knife and cutlery fan as well. As a matter of fact, I was just telling these guys, I posted a video last night. It's not slingshot related, but you might find it interesting. It was I tested a edge on up sharp edge tester. I don't know
Oh,
if you
nice.
and so I put a video up of that last night. Watch that and watch it till the end. You might find it interesting. But anyway, did you have anything else you wanted to plug?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to move over to Tristan and Allie Boyles. I think is it Allie. I just presumed your last name was Boyles.
Yeah.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
Yeah, I'm Tristan Boyles. This is my wife, Allie. We're from Kendallville, Indiana, which is real close to Waterloo, where the competition was. We're very new to slingshots. I'm an old friend of John Mannins, who
I was going to
ran
ask.
the competition. He, I met him when he started the Ninja Warrior program at the CCC about 10 years ago. And we've been good friends ever since. And so when he got into slingshots, we thought that sounded kind of interesting, but we made fun of him a little bit for it. And then learned how big a community it was, and learned how big the event was going to be, and got actually kind of excited about it. So I competed, and it was a lot of fun.
How did you do? And which did you compete as amateur or pro?
Amateur. I don't know where I placed. I didn't really keep track.
It doesn't
Just
matter.
have fun.
Have fun, yeah. That's all that matters. Very, very cool. Allie, tell us your story.
Yeah, when Tristan started getting into it, he was mostly going to the practices and stuff. And I've got just off screen here a 6-month-old baby, so couldn't go to the practices, but started doing that on my own. I used to do like archery and stuff, and it's just a little trickier to do that where we are in town. So once I started shooting the slingshot, getting pretty hooked, because I'm like, I could just do that right in my backyard, and just the perfect alternative. Did not compete, but that's again just because I wasn't sure with the 6-month-old if I'd be able to go to each competition, so I didn't want to hold up the event. But we're already planning to go to the Hocking Hills event.
Oh, excellent.
in
Excellent.
September.
Yeah. I will be at Hocking Hills. That is a favorite of mine, and it's relatively close for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize you guys were Hoosiers as well. I'm down in Bloomington. So yeah, John is a great guy, already a really wonderful pillar of our community. He's risen to that spot quickly, but he really provided, something great for all of us. I was able to have lunch with John last Monday before I left town, and it was nice to just sit and talk to him and get to know him a little more. Most of my interactions before last weekend have been through Zoom and online, so it was nice to sit down and chat for a bit. Went to a great little spot up there, but I forgot you guys said Kendallville, so you're not from that little town that the tournament was in, right?
We don't live there, but I grew up in the area, so I'm familiar with most places.
Okay. We went to a tavern or something downtown. I can't remember, but it was really good. Anyway, I have a few questions. Oh, do you guys have any social media you want to plug?
Nope.
Allie, I mentioned this to you, but I'll say it on the video. I got a picture of you with your baby carrier on up at the practice range. So even though you didn't compete, I have physical or photographic proof that you were out there shooting. I did come up with a list of questions I was just curious about for you guys, and you kind of already answered some of them. But here's one that I have a feeling I may know the answer to, but I'll ask it anyway. What was different than you expected about the tournament, better or worse? And I guess why I said I have a feeling, I think most of you are going to say better, but I shouldn't put words in your mouth. Go ahead, Ron, tell me what was different about the tournament than you expected.
The the quality of people in terms of, I mean, I've had experiences, even at church where I'm not received very well because of my casual nature. For example, when I was in amongst the Native community in Sweat Lodge and stuff years ago, there was always drama. There was always something going on, even though they were supposed to be spiritual people. So I came with certain anticipations that things wouldn't be a whole lot much different, and I was extremely blown away and surprised by the quality of people being well received without question. I just blown away beyond words.
Well, it
how
is.
people have been.
It's a wonderful group of people, very eclectic, and like we talked about, it draws in a lot of crafty, artsy people, and like Tristan mentioned, giving John a hard time teasing him about it. We all kind of come together because we're all kind of the same brand of weird, I think. And that's okay. It's a safe place for us all to be weird, So yeah, that I agree with you on the quality of the people there. Dallas, what was different about the tournament than you expected, and was it better or worse than you expected?
I haven't really been to a competition before like that, so I don't really know what the baseline is. I would say everything was as expected. I mean, more or less just going with the flow at this point. But I do agree with Ron. The people there were wonderful.
Yeah, it's a great community, and that's why I like doing these videos, because I get to know people a little bit more. I didn't really have time to talk to all of you as much as I'd like to have there, but I like doing these because I get a chance to know people a little more one-on-one. It is a wonderful community, so I definitely agree with you there. Tristan and Allie, what do you guys have? What's your take on that?
Uh, Same. Yeah, the quality of people is great. I've learned never to underestimate John when he puts on an event. So I wasn't really worried about that side of it. But he had mentioned that the community was really great, and he was right. I mean, the kindness and just genuineness of everybody that we interacted with was fantastic to see.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. And Allie, I didn't mean to skip over you there. What's your take on it?
You're good. Well, to piggyback off of that, I think we walked in with one slingshot, and we left with 5.
I mean,
anytime anyone heard we were new, they're like, "Here you go. You got a slingshot. You're gonna get ready. You're gonna come back next year." I was impressed. I was impressed with how easy of an event it was to be at with a 6-month-old, especially like being like a target event. Just by nature of slingshots, it's so quiet.
Right.
That was really easy, and of course everyone loves seeing a baby, so that made it nice and easy to be there. And even like by nature of what the targets are, so if there was a time where I had to be walking around outside of the arena during like distance and speed shooting, I could be a full spectator because you don't have to see the target, you just have to hear it,
right?
And know who's actually shooting. So it was a very pleasant surprise at how easy it was to be there with a baby, because most events with a baby aren't quite so smooth.
Well, that's an interesting take. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody with a baby that young at a tournament, and so it's an interesting take. But I'm glad to hear that, because I think it'll encourage more families to come out. I'll give my take on this one, because this tournament was kind of new to me, to everybody, in that there hadn't been an indoor tournament in the U.S., at least not in my memory, not in recent memory. So I hadn't been to one before. I was very impressed with the facility. I thought it was a nice facility, but the way John put it together, and I knew the people were going to be great. I'd experienced all them before, but I really liked the indoor venue I don't want to see all tournaments indoors. I like the outdoor aspect of the ones in nicer weather, but it was nice to be able to get together so early in the year. And I like the fact that it was kind of flat and you could see where everybody was at. It made socializing a lot easier, I thought. As opposed to, you'll find out at Hawking Hills, you got to walk up and down hills to go visit people, hence the name. But it's a great time there. So that was my take. I thought it was an interesting venue. It was indoors, and I really liked it. I got one question I think will be quick for all of you. Are you coming back? Ron,
Absolutely.
Alice.
I've already,
Oh, go ahead, Ron. You were saying you've made plans?
I've already got plans for East Coast and Hocking Hills and AIM, hopefully this year, God willing.
Excellent. Dallas, are you planning to attend more tournaments?
Yes. I signed up for East Coast already. Hopefully I do better and or at least do pretty decent in pro. And then I plan on going to Hocking Hills. I'm like 2 hours from there, so might as well. And that's later in the year, and it makes it a lot easier for me.
Well, since you won amateur on your first try, I have a feeling you'll do pretty decent at pro. Tristan and Allie, are you going to attend more tournaments?
Definitely all of the Midwest Spring Slings. John's talking Tristan into the East Coast, and obviously Hocking Hills.
Yeah, Hocking Hills, yeah, for sure. You're going to want to be there. East Coast might be a little far for you with the little one, but is the little one going to be raised up slinging slingshots?
He got the Simple Shot makes their little keychain slingshots. It's the perfect size for babies, and he's obsessed with it.
So one more. I have a couple more questions, but I want to know everyone's favorite frame, and I'll start with you, Ron.
Well, I have shot an Axiom and a Torque X while I was at the 2 practice sessions, the demo frames they have there. But outside of that, I don't own any such frames as of yet. So,
Well, that's good ones. That's 2 good ones. The Axiom is my personal.
I wanted to like the Scout, but I find that one for me is a little more harder to hold on. But the Axiom was fairly comfortable to hold. So,
Yeah, I do like both the Scouts. I like the XT. No, not the XT. The smaller one, the LT2. I like that one a lot, but I do prefer the Axiom myself over it. Dallas, what is your favorite frame?
I gotta say, I have a couple favorite frames. So this is the Scout X. This is actually the frame I won the competition with. I did change the band since then. They broke. I was out here practicing, but I really like the feel and grip of this one. The other one I really like is the Hammer XT. It's the full sling bow package.
Yeah.
Very accurate to 20 yards, deadly accurate 10 yards with the bow. Slingshot, I've hit a pop can at like 30 feet multiple times in a row with it.
Very cool. I'd like to get a hammer. I don't have one of those.
They're very nice.
All right, Tristan, do you have a favorite frame?
We haven't really gotten to shoot a whole lot of them yet. I was given a beam flip ocularis by John. That's what I used in the competition. It was great. And then I got the need to get more. And I happen to have a 3D printer, so I went ahead and printed myself one with plans to make more. Because I broke the bands on the ocularis. I need to reband it. But I wanted to make a unique one.
Oh,
so I
made that?
printed one that looks like a deer skull.
Put that up to the camera a little closer. Very cool. So you made that on a 3D printer?
Yep.
Neat.
It just uses some little bolts to clamp.
Man.
With the clamps to hold the bands in, and it shoots great. I'm really enjoying it so far.
I was actually looking at 3D printers online this weekend. I don't have one, but I know they're a lot of fun and you can do a lot of cool things with them. I don't know that I'll get one, but you never know. Now that you've shown me that, I may.
I use mine for a lot of stuff. It's running most of the time.
Cool.
And I mean, I printed this at 99% infill, so it's basically solid plastic, so it's extremely durable.
Very neat. And you mentioned the bean flip. I don't have one of those either. I'd like to get one. That's a neat thing about slingshots is Allie mentioned how you can, as opposed to archery, you can shoot anywhere, and it's so affordable too. I mean, you know, compared to bows and guns and knives, slingshots are relatively affordable, so you can build up a neat collection. But I do want to get a bean flip as well. I have the Axiom Ocularis, but not the bean flip. Allie, do you have a favorite frame?
Yeah, I don't know what the name is because Moan just gave it to me.
Okay.
But we sent it in one of the groups, and they said they think the maker is Quinn Nugan.
Quinn,
I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's QUYNHNGUYEN.
I'm friends with Quinn. I don't know how to pronounce the last name either. I'm on Facebook, but I don't know how to pronounce it.
But
That's very cool. Very neat. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up before too long, but I had one more question I wanted to ask all of you, and it was Ron kind of touched on his already. I want to ask about your other hobbies and interests that you guys had in addition to slingshots. Ron, you mentioned woodworking. Do you have other things that you like to do?
Yeah, I also have a fabrication shop. I can weld just about anything. I welded trailers. I built my own bench vise grill. I needed a gun rest for sighting and a rifle. I made my own. So if it's made out of metal and I can't afford it, I generally try to figure out how to make it myself.
Very cool. That's a handy skill in the slingshot world.
Yeah, I'll be looking into making some mechanical knockdowns and such when the weather breaks a little better.
Very cool. Dallas, do you have additional hobbies or interests other than slingshots that you'd like to let people know about?
Yes. So one thing I mentioned earlier in the video was knives. Knives, I do a little bit of wood carving, mostly spoons, dabble in it. Basically anything with an edge I'm interested in. That includes saws. I do some 3D printing. I have a Bamboo Lab X1 Carbon, and I've printed so many things. I do recommend the AMS system. That's the multi-filament capability. You could do so much with that. I'm into firearms as well. Fishing. See, there's kayaking. I do a little bit of rock hounding. Just pretty much anything outdoors I'm into.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems to be a theme with people drawn to the slingshot community as well. They like the outdoors. Tristan, do you have any additional hobbies or interests that you think people might want to know about?
Yeah, all things outdoors. Ninja Warrior from the TV show American Ninja Warrior. That's how John and I met.
Right.
Haven't done it as much lately, so I'm a little rusty, but always enjoyed that. And yeah, guns, knives, hunting, fishing, pretty much anything you can do
The outdoors.
out of the house.
And Allie, you mentioned you liked archery. I'm guessing you're outdoorsy by nature as well. Do you have any other interests though?
yeah, my hobby is collecting hobbies. Definitely like archery and the like, foraging. That's one that John and I will do a lot. And then besides that, the short answer is any fiber art. I spin my own yarn, knit, crochet, sew, weave, all the likes. So if it's made out of string.
Hey, my daughter just started posting on YouTube. I'll let you know what her channel is, but she's really into fashion. She got some kind of fashion degree and is into all that stuff, but she's really into fiber, stuff like that. Yeah. So you might enjoy her channel. Very cool. So it has been wonderful talking with you guys tonight. And I really appreciate all of you joining because first of all, you're new to the community. People want to know about you. I wish a few more could have joined us tonight, but this has been great chatting with you guys and getting to know you. I think it's great that you came on and showed that, well, you two, especially Tristan and Allie, that you can be a family and do this. You can bring small kids to this. It's something that's great for families, I think. And just all of us, all of you for being on here and just showing that it's an eclectic group. We're all welcoming and we all get along. And I thank you for coming on and sharing your stories. Does anybody have any final things they want to let everybody know before we wrap it up? Start with you, Ron.
I just mentioned that they can find me on Facebook under my name, Ron Terry. So
Excellent.
Making frames and learning more about it. I've learned a great deal since I started the first couple practice. Since that's the tournament, my designs have slimmed down rapidly. My first ones were quite the chunky monkey. So
Yeah. Well, I think you'll make a lot of friends in this community. I'm sure you've already made a lot, and you'll continue to make a lot more. And I'm glad you're part of it. Thank you for joining us, Ron.
thank you.
Dallas, you have any parting words you want to share with everybody?
I can't really think of too much, but one thing I might share is after the tournament, it was late night after the tournament, and I thought I'd talk to Nathan Masters a little bit, just show him, it's like, I thought it'd be a good advertisement to show him the frame that I got. And he actually gave me the pro version of that frame.
Oh, excellent.
So
That's
it's like,
very
oh,
cool.
it's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Kind of as a reward there, award or trophy for first place. Very cool. Nathan's a great guy, and everybody in the community is, but yeah, he's a wonderful guy. Tristan, you have any parting words you want to share with everybody?
Just thank you to the community for being so welcoming, and we're excited to be part of it. Excited to see everybody at more events.
I agree with you, and we're excited to see you guys back there. Allie, any parting words for you?
Tristan summed it up perfectly.
All right. Well, I really appreciate all of you guys joining. I will get this up later tonight, and thanks for jumping on here. Thanks for being part of the community and for letting everybody get to know you and for chatting with me for a little bit. I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you.
Thank you.